Hey everybody, welcome back to My Home Farmstead. My name is Jamie Kristen and today we are going to be talking again about winter sowing. I'm going to be focusing on winter sowing my herbs today. So if your living room is like mine and it more resembles a recycling center than an actual living room, you are not alone and you are in the right space. Let's go ahead, set out our jugs, get our tags and our seeds organized, and let's get going. So I'm going to be starting with my Happy Frog potting soil. You guys want to make sure you're starting off with good quality, nutrient-dense soil. I always pre-moisten mine. I have my jugs all prepped and ready to go. I have my seed packets in each one of my containers along with my seed markers because when I start this kind of conveyor belt, I need to be organized. So we start off with our pre-moistened soil. I use about a mashed potato consistency. I fill up my containers, and as you can see, there's excess water that's coming out of my containers. Make sure you guys are setting these on a tray if you're not doing them outside in the snow. This oregano I am going to be using today. It's easy sow, which means it's a pelleted seed. I've never used this before, but I thought I'd go ahead and pick it up. I was at Rural King, so I grabbed it. This parsley is from Fruition Seeds. And then let's go ahead and show our markers and our seeds all set beautifully, but of course I knock stuff over because I'm clumsy. Sage, I went ahead and got from Rural King. Fruition Seeds, I have this plum shiso. Sweet basil, again, I got from Rural King. Bouquet dill from Fruition Seeds. Thyme, I got from Rural King as well. And then I also have holy basil from Fruition Seeds and Genovese basil. So this easy sow, let's go ahead and talk about this for a minute. If you have a hard time picking up really teeny tiny seeds, these seeds are pelleted. That's why they're called easy sow. The back of the package is really informative, talks about zone. All right, let's go ahead and look at these seeds. Teeny tiny little green pellets. So I saw this hack. I don't know if it works. I know it's not best practices, but you know what? We're just gonna go ahead and put it out there and see what it is. Where you go ahead and you dust the top of your pre-moistened soil with snow so that it gives you a better idea of where you are sowing your seeds. You can actually have a visual distinction of where your seeds are going. This is what it looks like after I put my pelleted seeds down. Awesome. I know I didn't overseed my jug. I go ahead and water it in. I go ahead and get the top of my container down, and then it's time to tape it up. Now, I use clear duct tape. I had some people in my comments in my DMs saying I was using packing tape. I was not. This is clear duct tape. It is the 2-inch type. That's the one that I use. So the next one is from Fruition Seeds. Again, very informative packet. This is our parsley, teeny tiny. So the snow again came in handy. I could make sure that I wasn't over sowing my jug. I put one piece of the tape on the front and then go all the way around. That's my first set of jugs. So as this video progresses, I'm going to be giving you guys a breakdown of the flavor profiles of the herbs that I'm going to be winter sowing. I feel like this just gives a better explanation of the plant itself, and if you've never planted any of these seeds before or tasted them, it's going to give you a good idea of what they are.
2 down, 7 to go. Let's keep going.
So if you have fallen down the rabbit hole of winter sowing, you will typically see milk jugs used. I have already used about 60 milk jugs. They're in my backyard, already under a blanket of thick snow. The jugs that I'm going to be using today are water jugs, clear water jugs. Actually, these are my very favorite jugs to use because they're easier to tape. So I know I touched on this briefly in the beginning of this video, but let's talk about pre-moistening your soil. When you get your soil out of your bag, it's going to be very dry. So go ahead and reconstitute it with a bunch of water. Sometimes soil can be hydrophobic, which means it's not absorbing the water just like I showed you. Just go ahead and work it into the soil. Give it time to absorb. Be patient. It's going to definitely benefit your seeds later on. Keep working the soil, go ahead and pull the soil away, see if the water is still pooling, keep mixing, and then this is the consistency that you want. Winter sowing is supposed to be simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Just set yourself up with the right tools and you will be all set. So the first 2 jugs that we went ahead and planted, were oregano and parsley. Throughout this video, I'm going to be breaking it down to tell you guys about the different flavor profiles of the plants that I'm sowing. So for oregano, and I'm going to be reading off of Mr. Google Pants, I'm just sharing it with you. Oregano is sometimes bitter, best in savory dishes or acidic blends to highlight a peppery kick. That's why you get a lot of oregano in pasta sauces. It also said to go ahead and try it on melons. I don't know, we'll have to see. And then for parsley, parsley is a clean taste that is earthy but fresh. It's a well-balanced and well-rounded herb that is great for use in the kitchen. It's a great aromatic. So let's go ahead and sow our next jug. So the next thing that we have is sage. I've never grown sage before. I picked this up while I was at Rural King picking up all of my Happy Frog soil and decided to go ahead and give this a go. So what do? We fill our container, fill our container, fill our container, fill our container. I don't know, I just I sing that song as I'm doing every single jug, and then we go ahead, moisten again that pre-moistened soil, let it sit and drain a little bit. Don't forget your plant markers, you guys. That should be step number 3. So fill, moisten, mark, grab your seeds. This is what sage seeds look like. Go ahead and close your container, have that security strap ready to go, and we go with our duct tape around the world. Give us a little spin, won't you, darling? Yes, work. All right, plum shiso is next. Plum shiso I decided to grow for its beauty, not so much for its taste. Although it's a member of the mint family, it actually tastes like tobacco. Pass. So this is the time where we sing our song, fill our container, fill our container. Oh yeah, fill the container, fill your container. These are what the plum shiso seeds look like. Our pre-moistened soil, I'm just gonna go ahead and scatter 8 seeds in the jug. I'm going to surface sow them, which means I'm going to just press them into the top of the soil. That way, once the seedling starts to sprout, it doesn't have to fight through compacted soil. Sometimes when your plants fail, it's because the seeds were sowed too deeply and it couldn't fight through the soil to go ahead and sprout. Don't forget to put your marker in. Close the top of your container, put that security strap on there, and around the world. Yes, there she is. To the left, to the right. Oh, girl wet her plants. Don't worry, we're just gonna go ahead and recycle that into our soil. Sweet basil is said to have an exotic flavor with a combination of licorice and anise with a hint of mint. So I mentioned this in my other video, but I don't think I've mentioned it in this one. At the bottom of each one of my containers, I've drilled drainage holes. Drainage holes are very important, you guys. So when you go ahead and prepare your jugs or your containers, make sure that there's drainage holes. Are you guys gonna sing the song again? No? I don't blame you. Pre-moisten that soil, go ahead and put your seed marker in. These are teeny tiny little seeds. They almost look like poppy seeds. And we're gonna go ahead and use that snow hack. Again, I apologize about the camera angles. I'm trying to juggle and do this all by my little lonesome selves. So we go ahead and put that snow on the top of our containers just as a visual reference so we can see where we've put our seeds. See? Looks great. Snow is just water, so we're gonna water it in. It's just gonna make the soil a little more chilly, not a big deal. Put that security strap on and around the world. See? She's all locked up tight, ready to go. Next up is our bouquet dill. Now dill I'm gonna use in a multitude of different ways. So I'm going to be using it in 3 ways. I'm going to be using it fresh, I'm going to be using it dried, and I'm going to be using it in floral bouquets. Did you know that dill can be substituted for parsley? I didn't know that. It has lemony citrus notes in it, but it's well-rounded, has a subtle sweetness at the end of it, and it also says that the depth of flavor pairs well with garlic. I mean, of course, dill, garlic, pickles. Who doesn't love pickles? I mean, if you don't love pickles, we can still be friends. My husband actually hates pickles, but it works out great for me because he gets them on the side. I get extra pickles. Everybody wins! Let's go ahead and sow those seeds.
So sometimes you get your containers and they are dented and crumpled, and all you got to do is pop out the dents. There you go. Push it, push it. Push it real good. Oh God, I'm dating myself. But if you didn't just know that song, I really don't know if we can be friends.
Oh, taking it back to the salt and pepper days. So we go ahead and fill our containers. So let's talk about soil depth. Minimum of 3 inches. I like to go 5 to 6 inches. It's just me. We want to make sure that those roots have room to grow. Go ahead and put your seed marker in. Moisten that pre-moistened soil again. Give her a little jiggle and shake. Oh, check it out. When we open our seed packet, there are all of our seeds. Don't waste them. It's like throwing away money. Just take your seeds off, collect them. These are the teeny tiny dill seeds that we'll be using. They were sowed in our container. We go ahead and close her up tight and wrap her around the world. Make sure there's no gaps in your tape when you're putting it on. You want to maximize that greenhouse effect and recycle where your girl wet her plants. Now you're going to need to add a little more soil to this because it is just too moist. Going and grabbing my Happy Frog bag here. Oh, struggle bus. Trying to film, trying to get soil. Can't you do it? Done. We are coming to the end of our project. We have 3 containers left. Or do we? So just when I think we're coming to the end of our project and I have 3 left, I find another container! Woohoo! So I need to go ahead and go into my binder and grab another plant marker. This is where I keep my reusable plant markers that I went ahead and used with my brother labeler. I just got baseball card sleeves and put them inside here. They're all alphabetized, so when I need to grab another marker, I grab my book. That easy. So the next one we have is, let's see, on the struggle bus again. We have time after time. Oh my God, do you guys remember that Cyndi Lauper song? Total classic 80s. Oh, love it. I'm dating myself, but I don't really care. So again, moistening that pre-moistened soil, putting in our marker, and we thought those other seeds were small. Oh no, these are small. They're like flecks of pepper. So close our lid, put our little security strap on, and wrap her around the world. She looks so good, I'm proud. Giving you an up close look at the holes that are in the bottom of my container, letting you know we cut all the way around. We left a slight tab on the back. The next thing that we have is holy basil. Let's talk about it. So holy basil is extremely aromatic in the garden. It's one of my very favorite things to just walk by and you just get this gorgeous citrusy wafting smell. The scent is beautiful. Google says that it's extremely pungent in its flavor profile, and it has a multitude of different notes that combine clove, anise, peppermint, and lemon. So I'm extremely excited to go ahead and grow this, not only for fresh eating, but to also dry and use medicinally. It's said that holy basil, when ingested, gives you an overall calming effect and helps regulate your mood. So I know you're really tempted to sing that song again. It's okay. We won't judge you. It's a safe space here. But in all seriousness, just go ahead and fill up your container. Don't forget your plant marker. We're gonna open our package carefully because the seeds are teeny tiny small. These are all the seeds that we're gonna need to sow in this jug. I know it seems very repetitious, but the more you do something, the more it becomes second nature. And again, this is supposed to be simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Go ahead, close up your container once those seeds are sowed and scoot it over to the side. Next up, we have Genovese basil. Now, Genovese basil I had always seen, and I honestly had no idea what the difference between Genovese basil was and sweet basil. So, Mr. Google Pants, let me know what it was. Basically, all it said was that Genovese basil is a very much more pronounced flavor. Sweet basil is more mild and has a sweet hint and note to it, and Genovese basil is
more profound in its taste. It's stronger. Just like it said, it's more pungent. So we're going ahead and we are filling up our container. I measured out my soil. And we are just going to repeat these steps because this is getting real long. Grab your seeds. These ones are very small, so be careful. Surface sow them. Make sure that you're watering them in. Close your container up tight all the way around with your tape. Check to make sure that there are no gaps. You want to make sure that everything is sealed very well to increase that greenhouse effect. And then our mystery jug. What should we do? I have an idea. Peppermint. Peppermint is the tag I grabbed out of my binder. I really want to work on expanding my tea garden this year, so I'm going to be growing a lot of peppermint. So I just went ahead and added a little bit more soil to my pan, pre-moistened it. Now I am filling my container. Just kidding. That's gonna be in your guys' dreams. I'm so sorry. But we're gonna fill up the container with our pre-moistened soil. No big deal. I'm gonna moisten it just a little bit more because this one didn't set as long as the other. Grab my tag and holy spamoli, look at how small these seeds are. So just a little sprinkle and those are good to go. We are going to tape all the way around our jug and then venture outside. It's snowing here in Michigan. We are in zone 6A, B-ish, depending on where you are and depending on which way the wind is coming off the lakes. We have a nice blanket of snow. Since this video is aired, we've probably gotten about 8 more inches and it is 29 days to spring. I just got some more milk jugs dropped off, but you guys are gonna have to wait until next time to see what's next. Okay, you guys, that's gonna do it from me today. I hope you found this video informational, entertaining, and I hope it inspires you guys to go ahead and grab a jug and do some winter sowing. You don't have to worry about how cold it is outside. That's the whole entire purpose of winter sowing, stratification. Seeds are smart. Nature knows best. You guys are mimicking nature. So go ahead, grab a jug, fill it up, sow those seeds, and start your winter sowing journey with me. We've got 29 days here until spring here in Michigan, zone 6A, like we talked about, 6B. Like I said, depends on which way the wind is blowing off the lakes here in Michigan. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me today, you guys. Stay tuned if you wanna see what seeds I sow next. And coming up soon, we are also going to be doing a direct, no transplant winter sowing video that is all about putting seeds in the containers or in the spaces that they will be growing. So you don't transplant them outside of jugs, they stay in the place that you sow the seeds. That's going to be super fun to do. I was up to my knees in snow putting them out on the plant risers. I'm growing some varieties that I've never tried before, so I'm super excited about that. If you've liked this video, go ahead and give us a like, or if you didn't, give us a thumbs down. Give us feedback. We want to hear from you guys. I'm having a lot of fun doing these videos. I hope you are enjoying them. If you are, go ahead and subscribe. Turn on those notification bells so you never miss a video. And from our family to yours, we always say, sow seeds of love and life, and in the garden too.